Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your boy Mondo Black here with the top five. I did a top five back in September. I think it was actually on September the 12th. And the thing about it, I really don't like doing rankings that early in the season because you really don't find out about these teams until somewhere around toward the end of September, around early October, or maybe even mid-October. Okay. Because some teams, their schedules are back heavy, and some teams, their schedules are top heavy. So you're able to actually evaluate them. All right. So I think October is a good time where I can actually start doing these top fives. And I'm going to get started today. For those of you that missed it last night, shout out to KB, Kangaroo Black. I joined him on his panel last night. He was, hey, he was doing a live about me, a video that I did on the 12th, and my old rankings back then. So my rankings are going to be totally different today. But I say that to say this: some points that I made to him, it resonated. And Mr. Joe Klatt, shout out to Joe Klatt. And for those of you that don't know who Joe Klatt is, he's a sports analyst from Fox Sports. So, and he also is a podcaster on here on YouTube as well. So I think he may have been listening in, KB, on what I had to say to you up on the panel, because he pretty much repeated the same thing that I said, man. And it kind of rubbed you the wrong way. I heard you live, caught you live earlier today. But man, you know what, man? Hey, man, as entertaining as you are, honestly, bro, a lot of that stuff you be over there saying, bro, even though even you don't believe it, your damn self. You don't believe half the things you be saying over there, bro. And I'm gonna point them out to you, and I'm gonna point out why I say that. So everyone, get your popcorn. This is the dog call. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Dog Call. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope everyone had a blessed, safe, and productive Thursday today. Salute, salute. As you can see, I'm repping my Dirty Birds here. We got a very important Thursday night game against divisional rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Salute, 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 salute. All right, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I want to thank everyone for joining me here in the chat. If I don't shout you out personally, please do not get offended. Just know that I love and appreciate each and every one of you for supporting the platform and supporting the Dog Call. 20 East Nation, Wolfpack Nation, love you all. Thank you so much to my Wolfpack family and my 20 East Nation family, my Wolfpack brothers and sisters. Salute, 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 salute. Now let me get on to the talking points here. Okay, so I joined up with KB, Kangaroo Black, hit his panel last night. We had a very interesting conversation, and Kangaroo Black, you talk a good game over there. You talk a good game over there, brother. We talked about your. I didn't even know you had did a top five. You had updated your top five, and just like the last top five, I totally disagree with this one. Your new top five, and your new top five was very interesting because it pretty much tells me that you're not as confident in your Crimson Tide as you led on to be. As you talk a good game over there. Roll tide, we the best. Ain't nobody beating us. We gonna beat the brakes off everybody. You don't really believe that. You don't really believe that, brother. You don't. So let me, before I go into that part of the show, let me present to you, everybody, my top five for week 6. And I'm going to be doing this every week from here on out. Here's my top five right here. And I have it in order, and it's order right here. Number 5 is the Missouri Tigers. Now, yes, they've gotten off to some slow starts. Uh, they've struggled. They've actually struggled against Boston College, and they struggled against Vanderbilt. I think it took them to overtime to actually beat Vanderbilt, but they won. They won. Just like the late great Al Davis used to say. The owner of the old Oakland Raiders, just a win, baby. That's that's the name of the game. They are winning. All they do is win, and they keep winning. And they got a tough one this week against Texas A&M, but we're gonna find out a lot about this Missouri team this week because Texas A&M has a very good defense, and their offense is no slouch as well. So they're going to get a tough test this week. So we're going to find out a lot about Missouri. Will they remain in the top 5 of the SEC? We'll see. We'll find out after this Saturday. Okay, and number 4, my Georgia Bulldogs. Go on, dog. Sick 'em. Woof, 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 woof. The Georgia Bulldogs, even though they have a loss, out of all the teams in the SEC, they have the best loss because they barely lost to the number 1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, the number 1 team in the nation. They actually led in that game late, and it took a lucky fluke miracle divine intervention play from Ryan Williams and Jalen Milroe to actually beat my Georgia Bulldogs. So that right there is the Georgia Bulldogs is getting a lot of credit for having Bama on the ropes. Bama actually dominated the first half, and Georgia dominated the second half. A lot of people say, well, Georgia didn't play a full 60 minutes. Neither did Bama. Neither did Bama. Neither team played a full 60 minutes, to be honest with you, in my opinion. All right. My number 3 team, the Texas Longhorns. Yes, they're undefeated. Some people had them at number 1. The last time I did my SEC ranking, some people had them at number 1. I actually have them at number 3, based on the fact is, besides Michigan, they haven't really played anyone. They have not really been tested outside of Michigan. Their schedule is kind of weak in my opinion. So we really won't know what they're made of until next Saturday in the Red River rivalry. That should be, anything can happen in the Oklahoma Texas game. Anything can happen. So we will definitely find out. We will definitely find out about this Texas Longhorn team. And Michigan, the stock on Michigan is just dropping, in my opinion. Yeah, they had a win against USC, but who is USC? I mean, USC, they struggled with Wisconsin. Wisconsin, and I just don't really give I just don't really think Michigan is that good of a team this year. I really don't. And I think they're going to take a couple of L's this year. Now, I know I had predicted maybe 4 losses. I'm going to say somewhere around 2 or 3. They're going to take at least 2 or 3 losses this year. They don't have an identity. Alex Orgy, defenses are gonna force him to beat them with his arm. He's not gonna be able to win games and lead Michigan to a Big Ten championship by turning around, handing the ball off to the running backs, or by trying to run it himself. He's gonna be put in a situation as the season goes on, and he's going to be forced to beat teams with his arm, and I just don't think he's able to do that right now. So, based on the fact that the only signature win that Texas has this year is Michigan, uh, that's why I have them at number 3. I just think that it's a couple of teams in the SEC that could beat Michigan. So that's just where I stand on that. Number 2, and some of you are saying, well, Oklahoma, you're valuing Oklahoma over Michigan. Yes, I am. I think in a head-to-head contest, I think Oklahoma could beat Michigan. I definitely think Oklahoma could beat Michigan on a neutral site. That defense is for real. That defense is ferocious. You can say what you want to say about this Oklahoma team's offense. I think they're going to eventually. Offenses tend to be behind the defense early in the season. Remember, we're still early in the season. Some teams have only played 5 games. Some team have only played 4 games. This is week 6. We are still early in we're at the midpoint because it's a 12-game season, but we're still early in the season. We're just entering October. So who's to say that offense don't start gelling here soon? And then once that offense start gelling, Oklahoma's going to be a problem. So I think Tennessee, based on the fact, in my opinion, that Tennessee has the second best win in the SEC, and the fact that they are undefeated, of course, they are my number 2 team. Now, at number 1, and this is where me and you disagree at, Kangaroo Black, you have Texas as your number 1 team. You're a BAMA fan, and you have Texas as your number 1 team. I'm a Georgia fan, and I don't like Bama. Really, personally, I don't like Bama. I respect them, though, and I respect the fact that they have the best win, not only in the SEC, they have the best win in the nation. Now, yeah, they escaped Georgia by the skin of their teeth. Yes, they did, but it's still a win. A win is a win. Close only counts in, horseshoes and grenades. Bama beat Georgia. They beat Georgia. See, they beat Georgia. They didn't play 60 minutes. Even though they blew a 33-7 lead, they got the job done somehow, some way. They were still able to get the job done. They beat a number 2 team, and you also are overlooking the fact that not only did they beat Georgia, they ended a 42 regular season win streak. The last time Georgia lost a regular season game was early November of 2020 during the pandemic. Do you know how long ago that was? Not long ago. That was 2 administrations ago, brother. So anybody that has been paying attention knows full well that Bama has the best win in the nation. So why not put them number 1, Kangaroo Black? Why not put them number 1? So Kangaroo Black is a Bama Crimson Tide fan, diehard, born and raised crimson and white Bama fan. Why didn't this man put Bama at number 1 on his poll, on his top 5? And he's a Bama fan. He talks Like Bama is the big bad wolf of the nation. He talks like, damn, this team could probably line up against the Kansas City Chiefs and beat them. So why didn't he have them number one? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And I'm going to my talking points about Joe Klatt. Kangaroo Black, you are feeling what, and those of you that remember the movie Rocky 2, okay? Rocky 2 was basically, it started off where they showed the fight between Apollo and Rocky Balboa. They showed that they went toe to toe. If anybody remember Rocky 1, that fight probably was the best fight out of all the Rocky movies. That first Apollo Rocky Balboa boxing match. So once, Apollo got out of the hospital and he healed and everything, he was in the office talking to his crew, Tony and his trainers and managers and stuff, and they were like, hey, who we're gonna fight next? Who's the next opponent? And Apollo just couldn't let it go. He couldn't even though he won the fight, he couldn't let it go. And here's what Apollo said: I won, but I didn't beat him. And that's how you feeling, Kangaroo. Bama won, but you really didn't beat my dogs. Here's why. We played our worst game of the season. Let me break it down again. Carson Beck played the worst game of his football career. I'm going all the way back to Pee Wee. Little League, middle school, JV, high school, college, the worst game of his football career. And he still put up his career high passing yards on your Bama Crimson Tide defense. That secondary made our receivers, the same receivers that the media has been calling mediocre and non-elite, no playmakers, and man, that Tide secondary made Arian Smith look like Jerry Rice. I'm serious, man. And you know that in that second half, bro, Jalen Miro, Ryan Williams, all of that stuff they was doing in the first half went radio silent in the second half, brother. You know it. I know it. Joe Klatt definitely knows it. When you end your stream yard, after you over there running your mouth, when you end your stream yard and talking all that big talk that you love to talk over there, you sit back in that little man cave of yours and you go to wonder, how in the world, what happened? How did we blow that big lead? That's a problem. And you want to say that it doesn't matter? You want to sit over there and act like it doesn't matter? Oh, brother, it matters. Let me tell you why. Something similar happened in the NFL a couple of years ago. Remember that 2007 undefeated New England Patriots team? They played the Giants in the season finale, okay? The Patriots had a big lead. The Giants came back. They lost, but it was a good game. I think it was like, 38-35 or something like that. It was a close game. The Giants shot themselves in the foot. They were like turning the ball over. They had a chance to win, but they were turning the ball over, shooting themselves in the foot. Self-inflicted things were happening, and that cost them the game. But they left there knowing that if they saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl, if they got another shot at them, they could hang with them and even beat them. And see, this is the situation. You know, we left the game. See, that situation was a win-win. Because you see, to Georgia fans, that's a wake-up call that we need. We need it. You know, because they were getting a little complacent. I think that's what was going on. So that was a little wake-up call, a little slap in the face that they needed. But on the other hand, it's a tired fan. If y'all would have lost that game, bro, it would have been all kinds of hell. All kinds of hell would have broke loose in Tuscaloosa. You know it and I know it, bro. Can you imagine the headlines on the Tuscaloosa paper? Kalen DeBoer blows big lead. Kalen DeBoer and the Bama Tide mismanages clock because y'all mismanaged the hell out of that clock in the second half. Snapping the ball with 15 seconds left on the play clock. Snapping the ball early. Not moving the ball. Going 3 and out in the second half. I mean, come on, bro. You have to wonder what happened in that second half, bro. You have to wonder that. Any Crimson Tide any Crimson Tide fan that's honest with themselves would have to wonder what happened in that second half. You see, you can't erase that. You cannot erase that, KB. You can't erase that. It happened. You won the game, but you blew a 33-7 lead. And that's real. So all of that over there, all of that big talk you over there talking, it sounds good. It sounds good. But in real life, Kangaroo Black, your team has some serious problems on defense. Y'all have some serious problems on defense. And I'll say this, I'll go further to say this. It's much more dangerous to check out in the second half than it is not to show up in the first half. Because you see, even though we didn't show up in the first half, y'all checked out in the second half when it counted the most. And as terrible as that third quarter was, and it was terrible, that third quarter was a disaster. Even though the comeback began in the third quarter, that third quarter was terrible. It was terrible. You have to wonder, KB, the worst coaching job, one of the worst coaching jobs by Kirby Smart. The worst quarterbacking in Carson Beck's career. Receivers missing blocks, our receivers missing blocks and dropping balls, our DBs uncharacteristically missing tackles. And all of that being said, you only still won by a lucky fluke play. That has to have you wondering. It has to have you to question how good this team really is. How good is that team really is? That's why a lot of people, a lot of sports experts like Joe Klatt, they're not putting too much stock. Yeah, you're number one right now, for now. But they're not putting too much stock in the fact that you're actually really that good or the best team in the nation. So you might want to temper it down a little bit because you see, unlike in Atlanta in December, you did not end our season. The season is just getting started. Like the great Ric Flair used to say all the time, we've only just begun. We've only just begun. And contrary to what you may believe, and I know you hoping, you praying that Texas knock us off, that Ole Miss knocks us off, that Tennessee knocks us off. You're hoping and praying that your Tide, your Crimson Tide, does not have to see us again. Sir, I'm telling you, no. I'm guaranteeing you, you will have to see us again. Before you can raise that championship trophy, you will have to see us again. It don't matter if it is in Atlanta. It don't matter if it's in Pasadena or Miami or Indy or New Orleans Superdome. It don't matter. You're gonna see us again, because you see, one lucky fluke win is not gonna be enough anymore. We are in the era of a 12-team playoff. And the thing I love about this new system is we're going to find out who the real champion is, and you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to earn it. So you can talk about the past. You can talk about what happened in 2012. You can talk about what happened in 2017. And this is another thing, too. You love to bring those games up, but you fail to mention to your people. And I had to remind you last night that Bama was the better team. Bama was the better team hands down in 2012. Bama was the better team in 2017. Bama had the better squad in 2018. And in 2017, 2018, it shouldn't have been that close. It should not have been that close, especially in 2018, man. We were hit with injuries. We were without two of our best pass rushers. And we still took y'all to the limit. So, bruh, and in Indy, that the game in Indy and last year in Atlanta was the only two times that I could actually say that it was an even match. It was an even match. Tuscaloosa, I still believe that pound for pound, my dogs have a better roster. I still believe that. You know, y'all just caught us on a bad night. Y'all just caught us on a bad night. Some of the best teams have gotten caught on a bad night. Remember the 85 Bears? Remember on a Monday night, the 85 Bears were blowing everybody out, beating the brakes off everybody. We all thought that 85 Bears were going undefeated until one Monday night. They went down to Miami, played Dan Marino and the Dolphins and the Marks brothers. And the ball just went to bouncing funny. And strange things happened that night. And Miami ended their streak. It happens that way. It's the nature of the beast. So I say that to say this, bro. Tone down, tamper down. Hey, it's a long season. It's a long season, bro. We got a long way to go. Trust me on that. So you over there celebrating like it's January. You over there celebrating like we in the middle of January. Brother, we got a long way to go. But as of today, right now, this is the way I have it. See, I don't know why you don't have it like this. I don't know why you don't have your team number one. Maybe because you have doubts yourself. Yeah. Isn't that what it is, Kangaroo? You have doubts about your Tide team yourself because you saw that defense, that secondary, give up a 33-7 lead. You saw that offense get shut down in the second half. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You saw it. And we talked about it last night. So, brother, all of that you doing over there, bro, I know. Right here, bro, deep down in here, you have your doubts. You have your doubts. You have your all of this betting $100 a night. That's a facade, bro. You have your doubts. I know you do. But hey, look, my team, we have our own issues. But trust and believe, bro, your team got some issues in that secondary. And if they don't straighten them issues out, if they do not straighten them issues out by the 19th, when you line up with them Volunteers, when you go to Neyland Stadium, bro, it's going to be a long day that day. Y'all gonna come crashing down the earth, and it's gonna be, bro, it's gonna be a hard crash. It's gonna be a crash out. You're gonna be over there crashing out, wondering what the hell happened. So, bro, I don't give a damn about them being a young secondary. It's time for them. It's time for them boys to turn into grown men, because they gonna see some grown men come the 19th in Neyland, as well as my team in Austin. Hey, like I said, it's an early season, and we got a long way to go. I want to thank all of you for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button, and also drop a comment in the comment section. What do you think? How do you feel about this top 5? We're gonna do this every week, and this week right here. This is how I see it. This is how I have it. Missouri at number 5. They're undefeated, even though it hasn't been pretty. The last 2 wins haven't been pretty, but they are number 5. They're undefeated. Number 4, my Georgia Bulldogs. I think they have the best. I think they're the best one-loss team in the nation right now. Number 3, the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, they had an impressive win against Michigan, but I just don't buy into Michigan stock. I think any of these teams that's up here on the board could beat Michigan. Number 2, the Tennessee Volunteers. I do think that win going into Norman on a Saturday night in a hostile place down in Norman against that defense and the way they handled and dominated Oklahoma was very impressive. And the number 1 team on my top 5, the Alabama Crimson Tide, because they have the best win so far this season out of all the teams in the nation. All right, y'all hit that like button. I'm Mondo Black. This has been the Dog Call. Thank you all for coming out. Hey, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. See, Kangaroo Black, you're a Tide fan, bro. You should have had. I don't understand, how can you not put your Tide as the number 1 team in the SEC right now, with them having the best win? You said it yourself, they have the best win. So why not put them number 1? Because bro, you have your doubts. You have your doubts, bro. It's okay. I understand. And on that note, everyone, love you all. Thank you for coming out. Peace and blessings. I'm Mondo Black. This has been the Dog Call. See you all tomorrow on a Friday night kickoff show with my brothers, D-Truth, Sniper, and my sis, You Knew. The kickoff show tomorrow. Hey, got some pretty good games tomorrow. UNLV, Syracuse, Michigan State, Oregon. Man, that's a Friday night lineup right there. But man, we are spoiled this year with some great college football. Everyone, I'm out. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And I'm out. Go Dogs. Sick 'em. What?